Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another AMN Live Q&A event. I am personally thrilled to talk about the amazing topic that we've got today. As you saw, we are going to be talking about our wonderful mission trip that my volunteers here have just come back from. So lots of great stories that you're going to hear. Before we jump into that, I can't, of course, start any of these without thanking all of our amazing clinicians out there who work so hard every day to take care of and impact the communities that we support right here at home. So thank you for everything that you do. I will also say that this Q&A is going to be a little different. So normally, if you've been here, you know that we answer all of your questions about typically travel nursing, but can be some local questions. We've gotten some international questions as well. Why work for AMN? This one's going to be a little different. We're going to talk about the, as I said, mission trip that our team here just came back from. So we partner with International Esperanza Project to travel to Guatemala. And I'm not going to give too much away, but our team here was part of Team Hope. And just from the stories that I heard yesterday, so awe-inspiring. I'm not going to take up too much more of our time because I want to make sure that you hear from each of our wonderful team members here, but I will have them introduce themselves. So as you all know, I am Saundra. I'm one of our divisional vice presidents within Travel Nurse. Kendall, tell us a little bit about who you are.
Hi, I'm Kendall Jacobs. I'm a manager of recruitment here on the travel side. And I've been here with AMN 4 years and it's been amazing. Fun fact, it's also my birthday. So,
So throw some love into the chat to wish Kendall a happy birthday. So excited to have you here. And what a way to spend your birthday, Kendall. Liz, what about you?
Hi, everybody. My name is Elizabeth Kinyua. Happy birthday, Kendall. I've been with AMN for a year and a half now, and I am a process analyst. And I'm glad to be here. I'm happy to have been part of Team Hope and excited.
I love it. And Liz, you have to share with our viewers what the background is of your picture there.
Yeah, this is a beautiful picture of Guatemala. This is where we were staying. It's a view when we were hiking. It's beautiful. The mountains, everything is aesthetic. It's just amazing and astounding.
Just the amount of green behind you, it doesn't look real. So very excited to hear more about that. And then you may recognize our next person here. He's usually behind the scenes. So I had to really pull on him to join. But Tucker has done an amazing job with all of our, just having us follow on social, Tucker. And I know you're going to talk a little bit more about that, but tell us who you are first.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, my name's Tucker. I work on the marketing team here at AMN and was so excited to join the team in Guatemala and help bring you guys along with us. So hopefully you saw the Instagram stories and were able to follow along.
I love it. Thanks, Tucker. I have to be totally honest, this was the first time for me, and I've worked at AMN for almost 8 years. I know we've been doing this for a while with a little hiatus during that thing called COVID. But this is the first time that I could really understand and see the impact that is made by our team going to this region. So if you didn't follow, along at AMN Healthcare or AMN Nurse, go check it out at our AMN Healthcare Instagram page. I think we have all the stories archived, right, Tucker? So our team everyone can check it out. Perfect. I'm getting the thumbs up. So be sure to jump on. Watch Tucker's wonderful coverage of everything that the team has done. But let's jump to all of you and hear, what was this experience like? Liz, your story is incredible to me, and I know you're going to share a little bit about it, but I'll start with you. What was this experience like?
As I told you, Saundra, I don't have a specific word to actually explain and express how this experience makes one feel or the effect it has. But just to give you a little bit background of who I am and where I'm from, I'm originally from Kenya, beautiful country in East Africa, but it has similar problems to Guatemala. So I've grown up around an open fire, three-stoned fire. We've cooked meals there. We've ate from there. We've celebrated with the smoke all around us. And I got an opportunity to come to America, but also getting an opportunity to go back to Guatemala, an environment that is very similar to what I grew up in, makes me very, very humbled. if I can say that. It's an impact that I cannot change or I cannot get out of my mind. Just knowing that the difference that we went there and made as Team Hope and the teams that went there prior, it's just a good feeling to know that I have a good employer who's not only thinking about what they can do in America, but also venture outside and help the communities that are in need. And just from the education that we provide, from the stovings that we did, from the nurses, doctors, surgeons, the healthcare providers, and everything that they did for the communities there. It's heartwarming, it's humbling, and it's just an amazing way to give back to the community and gives us a sense of gratitude. We so often forget what we have, but Guatemala really gave me a different perspective of life and reminded me to be grateful of what I have.
I love that. And you're talking a little bit about kind of the three prongs of the trip, right? So there's the part that you all were involved in more heavily, which is the stoves. And I know we're going to hear more of that from the other team members. There's also the clinical side, which is a big piece. And I think I have some statistics. So we did 127 surgeries, 1,050 clinic visits, and 70 families got new stoves and water purification systems. There were dentists, audiologists, speech language pathologists, OR clinicians, ICU nurses, handful of surgeons, anesthesiologists, and so much more. So a big impact made, of course, by our amazing clinicians who were volunteers and were chosen to go. And then that third part that you talked about, Liz, too, is that that schooling piece of providing opportunity. And I know that was something that you talked a little bit about yesterday, of being able to provide that opportunity to go to school, to get an education, and to see, how can you move forward from here? What does that mean for their lives?
It's life-changing, to be honest, because even as we go to the families and do the stoving, you look at that kid, you just know that this kid has somewhere to go to school. That parent has somewhere to go and have a technical education, know how to knit and use a sewing machine and make amazing goods that we can actually sell back to the community and make a life out of it. It's not only that we are promoting the education of young kids, and if you'd like, you can sponsor a child, and not only a child is having the impact is not only going to the children, it's going to the community, and not only for that generation, for generations to come. It is quite heartwarming. It cuts different. It makes you dig deeper from where you are. You think you're compassionate, you're kind, you're loyal, but then you see these people, they give you from their hearts. They don't have much, but they are so grateful for that what they have. They are so happy, and it's just an amazing feeling.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Patrice, one of our other leaders in here, is saying that you're giving her chills, Liz, which is exactly the same sentiment I had yesterday with this. Just to hear it really come full circle for you is incredible. And just so heartwarming. There really aren't words. I think yesterday the word that I used was powerful, just so powerful to be able to provide something that we really take for granted. And Kendall, I'm going to come to you. I know that we were talking yesterday, like, gosh, it's already the end of Q3. So that for us means that the holidays are right around the corner. It feels like they're here already. And it's a good time for us to be able to just reflect on what we are thankful for. And it may feel like there's not that much that we have, or, life can be really tough. And we know for a lot of our clinicians right now dealing with burnout and just that feeling of being overwhelmed, being able to take those moments to take a step back and say, gosh, let me look at what I am really appreciative for, and give myself some self-reflection. And I know that was something that you talked about, Kendall.
Yeah, I have to do a little disclaimer. I'm redoing my floors. My puppy is in the office with me, so if you hear a little cry, she's just saying hello.
The joys of working from home.
Yeah, she just refuses to be ignored. But something that really, really stuck with me throughout this entire experience is we're going into these people's homes, and a lot of them are lucky if they have cement floors and cement walls, where a lot of them are metal walls and mud floors, right? So us going in and giving them the resources and opportunities to have a safe cooking environment and a safe place for everyone to gather, meant the world to them, and it meant the world to us because we could see that, right? So something that we saw with every single family is just the gratitude, the gratefulness, and just the compassion they all had. And it adds the biggest perspective because they have so many hardships, and they're going through so much. But then something that I saw in every single one of these families and the people that we helped is that they were happy, right? So that is the most moving thing, especially, you know, when things get busy and like you're talking about, the quarter's over, the holidays are here, what are we going to do? And like we get distracted by so many things. And at the end of it, it really comes down to your family, how you're doing, where you're at, and that overall authentic happiness that they all had with all these hardships. And it was the most heartwarming thing. And to be able to experience that, not only in their individual homes, but to help them in the clinics and the hospitals, and be, you know, talk to our clinicians that we help sponsor to get out there and have that opportunity. Because in recruitment, you know, our job is to help facilities in need, right? They need clinicians, they need healthcare professionals. So be able to see the impact that our clinicians have was just amazing. You know, it's something that I'm glad as AMN can share with the world.
Right. We don't always get to see that, Kendall. And I think that's such a good highlight back to what we get to do every day. And what we love about coming to work at AMN is that we know at the end of the day, the clinicians that we're placing are helping to support communities that are in need. And if you watched some of Tucker's coverage of just being at the clinics, and Tucker, I'll come to you so we can give Kendall a little break with her puppy. But I'll come to you. Seeing, you know, what the lines at the clinics look like. Liz was talking yesterday about, we kind of take for granted the ability that we have to just walk into Walgreens and pick up some Tylenol, or whatever it might be that we need for our ailments or aches and pains. Talk to us a little bit, Tucker, about just that moment of being able to see how our clinicians are making such a big impact.
Yeah, for sure. That was, you know, I did get to visit the community and the hospital and the school, but the clinic really touched me, because these people were traveling from all over Guatemala, hours, sometimes in days away, to get a checkup, or to get the International Esperanza Project, the charity we work with, gives out free medication. This clinic, there were free reading glasses. You know, small, like, simple things that we truly take for granted here, we're really changing these people's lives. And if you, again, didn't see the coverage on AMN Healthcare, there's a whole day I walk you through the whole clinic, and we talked to our an audiologist we had, and a speech language pathologist we had there as well, who was setting up a hearing program with a local clinician that you know was there. So truly incredible work. And then, I don't know, just playing with the kids. Like, happy. So,
they were so happy. To Kendall's point, they all just were so happy. And we don't want to make this sound like it's a bleak environment that nobody wants to be in or a part of. They really just are. They're so happy. I loved watching the videos of the kids, and please do watch the AMN Healthcare coverage. It's so cool to just see how excited the kids were to do a video with Tucker, or take their picture or something like that. Just so fun. And it brings that joy into the moment. And I think, Liz, yesterday you were talking about just going into the communities too, and the welcome that our team members received from them was just really kind of awe-inspiring in and of itself.
Absolutely. It's magical, if I can say that. These people are so happy. They have very little, like Kendall was saying, they live in dire situations, if I can say that, but they have so much in their hearts. They have everything. They were giving us everything that they had, a day's food, a week's food, but they were willing to actually show gratitude from that. They go to their farms, they present their houses beautifully with flowers and dance and music. And it's just an amazing feeling to just think about them, and just having the opportunity to actually build rapport and sing with them and dance with them and actually share a meal with them, because after we do the stoving, the amazing stove, we show them how it works. So we actually put out popcorns, and we pop popcorns, and we share a meal, dancing and celebrating. It's like pimping your kitchen, to be honest. You just do an amazing job with having a safe stove there that will not be, it's going to be smokeless. So less diseases. It's just an amazing feeling knowing that next year when they go to the clinic, it's not going to be a cough, it's not going to be asthma, it's not something that it's going to make a change not only to the kids, but also to the elderly people who've grown up like that. So there are no words to express this experience.
Right. And I think that's such a good point, Liz, because you might hear, you're putting a stove in. It seems kind of like a silly, like not silly, but it does kind of feel a little silly of like, why would you put a stove in? But that stove, and if we think about our own homes, our kitchens are the heart of our houses. And that's where everybody gathers and where everybody comes, kind of running in from. But stoves mean more than just cooking. They mean being able to purify water or being able to cook a meal without smoke inside of your house, which seems, so small, but is such a big difference when it comes to their health, their family's health. And you're right, hopefully not having to go back to the clinic the next year with a cough, but saying we're here for a checkup, want to make sure everything's good, and, getting that green light of, yep, looking good. So I love being able to hear that, Liz. Kendall, anything you would add on there? Because I know that was a pretty cool moment for you too, being in the community and having those moments of just welcome.
Yeah, I mean, one of the most impactful things, like Liz alluded to before, is anytime we go into these communities, usually it's an older female and it's her family. And she, reaches out to her resources to help, ensure that they do get installed and that there's a schedule. And she walks us through and takes us on a tour. So they show us their houses, they show us, their pigs and their ducks. I personally fell in love with the piglets that they had running around there. And they thought I was kind of a crazy person because I just got way too excited. But, the opportunity to share these experiences with people from different cultures and different walks of life just means so much. And like we had a little popcorn dance while we were trying to get everything going. And just to see how grateful they are, even if there is a language barrier, at the end of the day, we're all humans, right? And even if I might not be the best Spanish speaker, like we can still connect and have that good time and, dance together and sing together and, leave that impact. I feel like they left a much larger impact on my life than anything I could possibly hope to have accomplished there. And just seeing that humanity and how it transcends across cultures and languages, and with the overall gratefulness that connected us all, was just one of the most empowering and insightful things that, I'll take with me for the rest of my life. So it was a beautiful experience.
I love it. And such good reminders for us all, right? We're all human at the end of the day. And being able to just share in those moments, even if the language isn't there, but just the happiness, we all know what a smile means, and just share that overall joy that's awesome. I love hearing it. I would love to hear some questions. If you've got any, throw them in the chat. We're getting so many comments just on how amazing this experience is. Tucker, I did get one from Michelle. Is this a volunteer or a paid experience?
Yeah, for sure. So AMN has a team of volunteers that go every year. And then we also sponsor a team of clinicians to every year. Normally our trips are in September, and I think next year we'll open it up during the summer. So if you're interested, and if you're a clinician, make sure you're in touch with the recruiter. Those applications get sent out via email, and then if you're an internal employee, same sort of deal. Those applications will be open next summer.
And we do get a lot of applications, which is amazing to see, just the willingness to do something like this and just to feel it from the bottom of our hearts, which is really cool. And then Michelle also wanted to know, do we have a need for LVNs or for RNs only? I'm actually not sure, Tucker.
Yeah, so the needs change every year. So we're lucky enough to partner with the International Esperanza Project, and the AMN team actually made up just a small part of Team Hope. There was over 100 folks that were there. So the needs really change based on the team they already have in place. So keep a lookout for the information next summer and apply. Certainly can't hurt.
I love it. Thanks for the engagement here, Michelle. Feel free to keep throwing your questions in the chat. I love it all. And it is just an incredible opportunity. Tucker, I'm going to come back to you, not to keep putting you on the spot. But I know one of the big things for you was just being able to see the kids at the school. And as Liz mentioned, the school's not just for kids. There's some really great programs for adults as well to help provide them with different opportunities.
Yeah, so my biggest takeaway, and this kind of, I guess, applies to everything, but we were there to inspire hope within this community. That means something different for every single person, but the school was certainly a special place with that, because it was not maybe a school by the means we think of when we think of our elementary school or whatever, but a group of buildings that served over 400 children from kindergarten to up into high school. They had a brand new Montessori program, which was so cute to see. And then, as you said, Saundra and Liz, they had a program to teach adults how to sew. Which then inspire them and help them have a livelihood on their own and have income and continue their career within the community. So truly lovely to see, like, across the board, from the babies that were in their little aprons in the Montessori school, to their moms and grandmas that were being taught to sew. So really special.
And to Liz's point, such beautiful pieces of work. I mean, really just incredible, Liz. And I know you mentioned that earlier, but just the fabrics and things that they would create. What else stood out to you there?
Honestly, it's just everything. I grew up around mostly the environment there is quite similar to everything I grew up around, but it's just reminded me to dig down and always be grateful. We so much look at what we don't have, and we have so much around us to be grateful for. And it's just that we go there as seniors, we put down our titles basically, and we just take up a responsibility to just help one another, help somebody build their life, help a kid, help a community, help a generation. So it's just the impact, the change, the amazingness, the friends, the rapport you build. You get to sit down and share a meal with doctors, with surgeons, with nurses, just an opportunity to know that each and every one of us is gifted, and we took our gifts out to Guatemala to make a change to somebody and generations to come.
I love that. The titles don't matter. It really just is about helping and being there to help continue and develop and grow and all of those good things. And as Kendall mentioned, for ourselves too, right, Kendall?
Yeah, and something that I think was really amazing to see while we are, bringing in these, doctors and nurses to help out in the communities and seeing how they interact with each other, right? The fact that a team of doctors was able to create an entire clinic and perform over 127 surgeries, amazing. The fact that we could have a week and have all these different specialists come and see over 1,000 people, spectacular, right? And something that I love to see when we would be going into their homes and like talking about them, like we're talking to the kids or talking to the teenagers, like, what do you want to do? A lot of them said they wanted to be nurses or doctors, So the fact that they have the exposure to, one, get the medical attention they want, but then they can also see, like, it's called Team Hope for a reason. Like they really inspire hope, and that is one of their biggest things. Like, you don't have to stay in the life that you think that you need to live in. Like, there's so much more out there, and to see that they're just so open to all these possibilities, and a lot of them are really focused on healthcare and, giving back to their communities and learning those traits just from the efforts and the people showing that it's possible, right? It was one of the most beautiful things.
Right. I love that. And I think Tucker mentioned just kind of in passing that they do have some clinicians there that there's also training for so that they can get continued healthcare. But so cool to see just how inspiring it is. I mean, doctors and nurses are inspiring to me too, and I think they're amazing. But how that can make such a big impact on, a kid to grow up and say, gosh, I really want to do that. I know that I can do that and I can be that. That might not be something that they've ever had the opportunity for. Well, we do have some good questions. Chanel here. Hi, Chanel. What do you look for in an applicant when applying for the sponsorship? And Tucker, I don't know if you have more information on just that process. or maybe what you did that helped stand out. But Chanel would love to know how she can make herself stand out next year.
Yeah, if you're internal or a clinician, just the passion, the commitment to serving others, period. But if you're a clinician, again, it depends on the needs of that year. But I think more than anything, just a big heart and a willingness to serve.
I love that. And I know Steve Wayne is in our comments here. So Steve, feel free to add anything on for Chanel or any of our other team members, internally or externally, asking that will really help them stand out. But that heart, I think, is a big piece. And you can, hopefully, I'm sure you can, I can feel it from these wonderful team members here, just their passion behind this, the experience, the trip, all of that. Michelle also wanted to know, do you need to come up with the finances for travel and accommodations?
No, with AMN, if you are a AMN sponsored, team member to go or a clinician, we cover everything. I should say also that this work isn't limited just to AMN. We do work with that wonderful charity partner, International Esperanza Project, and they do this constantly. So if you are itching to go or the schedule doesn't work out for you for whatever reason, reach out to them, and they can certainly take you on either one of our mission trips or one of the other ones they do.
I love that. Great call out, Tucker. And then opportunities for dental assistance. Yes, we've got a head on.
Very, very much so. The dentist was located at the clinic, and I think was busy all the time. Now all the kids coming in, I was trying to play with them while they were waiting, but certainly opportunities, yes.
Yeah. Again, I'm going to plug AMN Healthcare, our Instagram page. Please go check it out. I think one of the other things that, as we've been talking, that was shocking to me is the amount of effort it takes and supplies to set up a clinic. And of course it does, right? If you think about that rationally, like, well, yes, there's a million things that you need. And any of our clinicians who are viewing probably know that already, but buckets and buckets of just stuff that's needed to be able to provide care, which is just so cool. It sounds like definitely long days. Did the days ever get to you as far as the length, or were you just so in the moment that it was easy to get through it? Liz, how about you? Long days?
Absolutely. The long days are worth it. The compassion, the love, the smiles, everything about Guatemala is beautiful. The weather, the people, the food, everything is amazing. And what you get out of that community is not quantifiable to anything. We are love, we are kindness. It's just an amazing feeling that you can never get out. It's just life-changing, to be honest. For those who want to be part of it, please go and do it. It's just it. You can never use any words. Powerful, magnificent, life-changing, all of them. It's just a mix of everything. You just lay down every day. You just tears of joy because you have done something amazing, amazing changes to people in Guatemala.
I love that. The days don't get to you if they're long. With that kind of a feeling when you put your head on the pillow, for sure. Kendall, what about you?
I mean, I feel like Liz really said it. It's when you're doing something that's as fulfilling as it is, and you can see the immediate impact in all of their faces. I mean, time just flies, right? And it's a beautiful thing to be part of. And I love that you mentioned the supplies, because I was part of the team that packed up all the supplies in the clinic. That was a long day. A lot of medications, but it was beautiful because not only did we have an entire clinic and a pharmacy, because we were able to give them their prescriptions free of charge. We had a ton of donations in the middle of the mission trip, right? So even if we did come in with a lot, like, we left with even more, because people are just so willing to help, because these people need it. And being part of that and being part of the resources to give them accessibility to that is just, I could double my days and still, ask for more, right? It's like I wish we could do more.
Yeah. I love that. And Tucker, I won't come to you for it, but I do think that it's such a good point of reflection for us as AMN Healthcare to really just show appreciation for our clinicians who we probably don't thank enough. I know we don't thank enough. But hopefully you do know the impact that you make in communities. It's really awe-inspiring and life-changing for this group, for us to be able to have this type of experience and going on this type of a mission trip and going someplace outside of the United States to really help people in need. But you do that every day here. And I can't say thank you enough just for all of the hard work that you do day in and day out. You have long days. You rest your head on a pillow at the end of the day, and you may not know all of the impacts that you have made, but that's really awe-inspiring to me as well. So I do just want to thank this group, thank everybody who's listening, thank all of our clinicians out there, whether you travel with AMN Healthcare or not. We're just very, very thankful for you. Good way to start heading into the holidays, and we will have definitely more of our AMN live Q&As. I will just wrap us up with one more thing for everybody here. I'll go around really quickly, maybe in like one sentence. It's going to be hard to put this in one sentence, so I'll give you a little time to think about it. But what was maybe your favorite part of the trip? What was that one piece that you're like, gosh, this is the memory that's going to stick with me? Kendall, I'll come to you first since you had nodded.
I'm trying to think of how to put it in a sentence. Then you said memory, and I'm like, oh, geez. I think the people.
Yeah.
And the people are what's going to have that everlasting impact. They're going to be the faces that I remember. They're the experiences and the conversations that make me smile. And it's not one specific memory or person, it's everyone. And I think that was one of the most beautiful parts about it.
Yeah, I love that, Kendall. Definitely the people. I'm going to jump in first. So Tucker and Liz, you have 2 additional seconds to think about yours. But Irene wanted to know, when should we expect to hear more about the next application? So it sounds like early summer next year. And I know we just threw some information in the chat for you there too. So hopefully that helps you, Irene. Call your recruiter, talk to them. They'll hear about it. We all get that information at the same time. So really cool. Tucker, what about you? What's that one sentence or memory?
I'll echo Kendall. The family that we walked away with, both closer to the AMN team that came, closer to clinicians, and now I have a whole new family in Guatemala that I love dearly and will always be there for. So it's the people for sure.
All right, take us home, Liz. What's your one sentence or memory?
I think I'd say Esperanza. It's just the hope we left in the communities there. The change, the impact, everybody dedicated their time, their hearts, their education, the smiles we got from them, the love, the kindness, the food, the gratitude, everything. It's just heartwarming. It's beautiful, if I can say that. My perspective in life definitely has improved, and I wish that for everybody. We are love, we are kindness, we should do that to one another. It's a great feeling.
I love that. We are love, we are kindness. We're definitely all a family. So thank you, Liz. It's a perfect way to wrap us up. Thank you all so much for joining us for another AMN Live Q&A. There will be more coming your way. The topics will definitely be more focused on our travel nursing and what you can expect there. But hopefully you all enjoyed this as much as I have. Just being able to learn about this incredible opportunity, how our team members, clinicians help support this particular area. Please jump on. I promise it will not be a waste of time. AMN Healthcare, our Instagram page, check out the stories, and then follow us at AMN Nurse to find out more about when our next podcast is coming up. I will see you all again soon. And just one big final thank you to our volunteers here for joining me, and to all of our amazing clinicians out there for everything that you do every day. We appreciate you so much. Have a good one.